Hello, computer application students. This is Mr. Bornheimer, and this is your last PowerPoint presentation. This will be your assessment, and it's a narrated presentation that allows you to kind of walk somebody through a PowerPoint presentation, an interactive presentation, anything of the like. In case, let's say, I would use this if I was absent and I needed to annotate or walk someone through one of my PowerPoint presentations. This is what I would do. So first things first, you got to pick a PowerPoint that you want to walk somebody through, and I would pick one of your later ones. So maybe the first grade, you know, the Are You Smarter Than a First Grader, or like the Dress for Success. I'd pick one of those presentations. You bring that presentation up, and you'll notice that I already have a presentation I'm going to use. I'm just going to use this covalent bonding presentation because it's readily accessible to me. And I am going to go ahead and go to the slideshow tab at the very top. Now, some of the buttons you're probably already familiar with are start the show from beginning, start from a current slide. You can also broadcast your slideshow. Microsoft Office allows you, if you wanted to broadcast it, so I'll click on this. You have to set up a service with them, but then it's with a Windows Live ID. But if you have an Xbox account, that works. If you have a SkyDrive account, that works. I just use my Xbox account ID. And then it allows you to broadcast a slideshow live. So you can like send out a URL. People can go there and they can watch you broadcast your slideshow live. It's very, very useful. All right. The other thing is you can do custom slideshows. You can set up a slideshow. You can hide slides, rehearse timings. But the one that is the most useful, I find, is the recording of a slideshow. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of bring up your slideshow, and you can go to record slideshow, and you are going to go ahead and start recording from beginning. So here we go. Now I clicked on it. It says I want to do slide and animation timings and narrations and laser pointer. What this means is as you record your presentation, it will not only record your voice, and it can also record anything that you annotate. So if you use the pen feature of a slideshow where you want to underline or circle things, you can do that. But then when you advance to the next slide, it will automatically use that timing to advance the slide when someone goes to view it. And they can go back and they can go forward. It's very useful. So I'm going to go ahead, and when I start the recording, I'm going to go ahead and just walk through maybe like the first 4 slides like I would if I were presenting it. I will end the show, and then I will kind of show you what it looks like. And you should try this on your own. To complete this exercise, you are going to need a microphone, and you can borrow one to complete it over the course of the time given to you to complete this assignment, which will be on Moodle, or on wherever it is that I've posted this assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and start recording. All right, this is a presentation called Covalent Bonding, and it corresponds to Chapter 8 in the chemistry textbook. The first section we're going to look at is Section 8.1. All right, now the first example I want to show you guys today is the three-legged race. First of all, when you look at a three-legged race, it's a perfect example of a covalent bonding situation. You have to ask yourself questions, and as you answer these questions, keep in mind the answers and how they might apply to 2 atoms. So how do 2 people create a team for a three-legged race? When the 2 individuals become a team, are they still each their own person? How might this be like bonding? Why do atoms bond? Atoms form bonds to become more stable. Stability is directly related to the energy that an atom possesses, and in order to become stable, atoms need to achieve a full outer energy shell of 8 valence electrons. Now, for those of you watching, once I have walked through that, I can just end the recording or end the show. So I'm going to end it. Okay, and I want you to notice a few things. First of all, on the slides that I have talked through and timed, you'll notice that timing has showed up here in the bottom. Okay, it's approximately how much time I spent on each slide. So 8 seconds, 4 seconds, 25 seconds, 23 seconds. It also has put a little like icon down in the right-hand corner of those slides that have my voice narration. So if I were to go to this slide and look at it, I could listen to the narration. This is a presentation called Covalent Bonding, and I would be able to either start or stop it. I could place it in a different point on the slide. Okay, so now if I go back and watch the presentation from the beginning, it talks through the presentation. This is a presentation called Covalent Bonding, and it corresponds to Chapter 8 in the chemistry textbook. It also automatically advances each slide. All right, now the first example I want to show you guys today is the three-legged race. First of all, when you look at a three-legged race, it's a perfect example of a covalent bonding situation. You have to ask yourself questions. If I wanted to go back, I can go back and forwards, and that's very, but it stops the narration. Now, if I move on, I can also start or stop the narration as I see fit. Okay, so there are some things, and then I could obviously move on to untimed slides with no narration. All right, now I'm going to end this show. If I want to modify the individual the timings or whatever, I could, in theory, go back and clear timings on certain slides. So for instance, I don't like slide 2, I could go ahead and I could clear the timings on current slide or clear the narration on a current slide and start over. One of the best things I find when using a narrated presentation is that it is just simpler to start over. But if you have a long slideshow like this one, which is 136 slides, you don't necessarily want to start over. One of the benefits of doing it this way versus, let's say, maybe doing a broadcast on air using Google Hangouts is that you can save this as a PowerPoint presentation. So somebody who opens it up will actually be able to view it as a PowerPoint instead of just a video. This makes it a little bit easier to advance to the next slide, start and stop. You could stop the narration, you could advance the narration, you could pause the narration. So there's some advantages to using it as a PowerPoint versus maybe like a recorded video online, like a lot of maybe like tutorials are. Not to mention you could skip ahead to a narrated slide in a PowerPoint. So if I wanted to, if I was in the presentation, I could jump all the way to, let's say, I could jump all the way to slide 14. And then by jumping to slide 14, it would automatically pick up the narration at slide 14. There's some benefits there. Instead of having to try to figure out where it is, using like a YouTube video, you kind of advance a couple minutes. Oh, that's not what I want. Go forward. Nope, that's not what I want. So there's some benefits there. So you need to narrate a presentation using a microphone of some kind. You can use, there's a couple headsets in the library. There's a couple headsets in the computer lab. You need to narrate a presentation. You need to save that presentation as a narrated presentation. Just name it narrated presentation. This will count as an assessment or a test, so it'll count as probably a couple of PowerPoint assignments. You need to complete this as indicated where you found this assignment, and you need to do it by the due date. If you have any questions, you can email me, mrbornheimer@gmail.com, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.